We got this from Right Angle News Network. Earmuffs for the kids. Graphic language. They say this gang member is issuing a warning to President Trump stating not to send troops to Chicago, warning that the gangs will beat the National Guard. Check this out.
Hilarious.
Trump, do not send the National Guard to Chicago, gang. Do not, I repeat, do not do it. We are a different fucking breed out here, nigga. We are not Los Angeles. Nigga, we are not Washington, D.C. Nigga, this is Chicago, nigga. Them niggas go fight back. I'm telling you, them niggas go fight back, gang. Whatever, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Them young niggas got switches, gang. They not going for that shit, bro. I know a bunch of y'all finna say, oh, it's the National Guard. They can't do anything about it. They must go in Chicago. Nigga, do y'all know that it's more bad people than good people, bro? There are over 100,000 gangs in Chicago by the city.
You know what, though? He's not wrong about Chicago, man. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's literally making the argument for the National Guard. First of all. Second of all, switches do not compare to fully automatic belt-fed machine. Okay? You can have a switch on your Glock, but no one cares when you're taking a 245. 245.
It's not even that. They have helicopters.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. He's actually largely right. What I would say he's wrong about is telling Trump not to send the National Guard because they'll fight back. Bro, like logic, my friend, he's got to logically assess. He's right. The gangs may fight back. I don't think they will. They may. They do got switches. They are crazy. Chicago is very hard. It's harder than Los Angeles and New York. Chicago gangs, they don't mess around, man. That being said, this is what I was saying this morning to this guy. I don't think this guy's actually a gang member. They say he's a gang member. Bro, I'm going to tell you, the leaders of the gangs, in most cases, will not tolerate you bringing heat on the gang. Mm-hmm. If the National Guard comes to Chicago and gang members decide to go fight the National Guard, the leaders of that gang are going to be like, why are you putting me in the poorhouse? How are we going to recruit and sell drugs if you are getting Trump to send troops into our neighborhood? If the troops come into our area, we go to a different area. You get into a fight with National Guard, and now you're out of business. Mm-hmm. Why would you do that?
He did post a follow-up to this. I saw. I haven't shared it or anything, but I saw that he actually was saying, yo, I'm not in the gang. He was kind of walking it back because...
Yeah, that's why I said they call him a gang member. I'm like, this is not a gang member, dude.
Yeah.
I know many gang members. Not really. It's been 20-some-odd years. I left Chicago 16 years ago. In my neighborhood, half the people were in the gangs. The gangs were all over the place. They were hanging out at the park. They were selling dope. When the cops would show up, they'd leave. They'd be like, I don't want the heat. I don't want to go back to jail.
And I agree.
Want to fight.
I agree with you. I tend to think that they would not mess with the National Guard. And if they did, it would be the dumbest thing that they could possibly do. Because if they do that, they are now the Trump administration could fully invoke the Insurrection Act at that point. And you'd have DEA, you'd have ATF, which should be abolished, but you'd have ATF there. You'd have all of these federal agencies plus active duty military on the streets if they decided to go that route. So I agree with you. I think that they're smart enough to know that this is probably a temporary thing, stay out of their way. Yeah. The word would get sent out. But
part of me is like, bro, I dare you, man. Yeah. If one National Guardsman gets a graze from a bullet from a gang, the Chicago gangland narrative is over permanently. I'd like to talk big game on this one, but I actually don't know if Trump would do it. But in the event something catastrophic happened to the Guard and Trump says, that's it, the Marines are going in next, Chicago gangs will cease to exist.
Yeah.
So in reality, if a National Guard member got wounded or something in a fight, I don't think Trump would escalate to the end of the world. But if the gangs actually decided to go full scale on this one and go to war with the National Guard when they came in and Trump did respond, give it a year or two and there'd be no gangs in Chicago ever again.
Well, let me say, as a Marine infantryman, I'm 47 and a shell of what I used to be, but they would be chomping at the bit to get at that one. It would be not even a contest.
Well, these are National Guardsmen that have a chip on their shoulder because they would be presumably from Illinois, and they've seen what Chicago's inflicted on the rest of the state. So, A, they'd be going with a chip on their shoulder, and then B, like you said, they even look at a National Guardsman the wrong way. Trump's going to make like Bukele's crackdown look like a little birthday party. Yeah. Like it would be everyone in, every agency you've never even, three-letter agency you've never even heard of would be in there.
Nobody would take their side, right? Like if the National Guard is there and some dude zips up a private.
Democrats will take their side.
Yeah. Well,
Democrats are going to be like, like a local Chicago daycare worker, and he's like a gang-banging sex trafficker.
Yeah.
was brutally attacked by police after accidentally tripping and dropping his switch and unloading on a bunch of National Guardsmen.
Right.
I can see the politicians there
spraying love slugs into the air.
I can see the politicians actually being upset that the gangs are gone.
Well,
Dude, after 100 years, you have to think they want the gangs there.
100%.
Yeah.
Or in the gangs.
Yes.
Like I'm going to go ahead and assume that Brandon Johnson got V'd in and never left, and he's been in the gang since the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you see if Americans, most Americans, at least real Americans, see, some 20-year-old, 21-year-old private get zipped up by, a gangbanger and get sent home in a box, it's over.
It's over.
Part of me doesn't really believe Trump would go hard on Chicago because look at 2020, he didn't send in the troops. But I actually would lean more towards, not 100%, but greater than chance probability. If something did happen to a National Guard serviceman or woman, Trump would probably go nuclear because the risk to the military, if not protected and defended by the president.
Yep.
One of the biggest priorities that they had, especially with Hegseth coming in, was trying to figure out how to get recruitment back. Getting the DEI out of the military and telling the brave men and women in this country, we got your back. You sign up, you join up, we got your back. We're going to make something that's going to make you stronger, something to be proud of. If a Guard member got shot and Trump was like, no, that's going to be terrible for morale, and it's going to make Trump look like a pussy.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Trump will defend law enforcement, and he will go hard in the paint to defend law enforcement. But I think that, the point is that none of us actually want this to go in this direction. I don't think any of us love the idea of the military going into. It would be way better if the left would just secure their cities, police their cities, put career criminals in jail for a long time. But they refuse to do so, and they're forcing Trump's hand. This is the what he has to do. And if they go that route, Trump will respond very strongly. I have no doubt in my mind that he will.
I mean, the police departments in all these major cities, they could stop this tomorrow. They're just not allowed to. Like, you speak to any of these police, like you speak to NYPD officer, they know the names and like the friends and family of all the troublemakers in the neighborhood where they patrol. Again, I've said it before, crime in 2025 in a modern society is completely optional. The Democrats are just allowing it to happen because they're conducting this blank slate experiment, et cetera, et cetera. Like Bukele has demonstrated, you just literally just decide, actually, no more crime, and crime goes away. It's not rocket science. These police officers know exactly what to do, exactly who the problem is. And again, overnight, it'd be done. Just the Democrats have to take the handcuffs off.
The idea in my mind of going to Chicago and having all of this stuff taken care of, it'd just be like the greatest thing ever. Because I was in New York. The riots were kind of bad, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to live in the city. It's expensive. Then some dude murdered 2 cops right in front of my apartment. This was in, I think this was Bushwick? I can't remember. It was near Myrtle and Nostrand. So if you want to look that up, 2 cops sitting in their cars. A guy walked up and just executed them both. And this is because of the BLM narrative stuff.
Yep.
That was outside of my apartment. And just to the end of the block. And so I was like, I'm going to leave. Then 2 bombs got planted. Jersey City and Manhattan on, I think it was like 26th Street or something. And then I was like, geez, man, it's expensive and it's getting crazy. So I went to, I was on the Jersey side. I went to Bayonne. Then I went to South Jersey. We were trying to figure out where to go. I was talking to my wife about it. Like, maybe we can go to Chicago. It's a travel hub, so it's really easy to bring guests into Chicago. I think that's, Barstool recently set up headquarters there. And then we were like, the corruption and the crime is too much. Mm-hmm. The properties we looked at, I was like, not only do we have to worry about the gangs who are going to know because we do a show that we've got expensive equipment and we'll get robbed in 2 seconds. We got to no matter what neighborhood we're in. Then we got to worry about corrupt city officials too. They're going to come and they're going to shake us down all the same. Yep. Just stay away from Chicago. That's sad, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're seeing, especially with like young people, this huge demand for walkable cities and that sort of thing, and they're having to build these like master plan communities out in the rural areas. And I'm like, these cities do exist; they're just off limits. Like, if you're a young person, you're not allowed to live in Chicago because it's just like a total, like basically a form of suicide in a lot of ways. Because it's like these cities are just so out of control. And so for young people, and just people, everyone of all ages, like massive chunks of your country with really otherwise nice real estate is just completely off limits because of violent crime, and it's just totally unacceptable.
I just want to wake up on Christmas morning with the snow falling and the Christmas tree set up and, the sun is just rising and the kids are running for the Christmas presents and not have to worry about bullets flying and gangbangers and crime and women getting stabbed on the train. And it seems like Democrats in all the major cities want the opposite of that. They want me to wake up, instead of seeing a Christmas tree, they want me to see shattered glass in my living room with trees and pine fragments just trailing out, and I can see it going to a car that speeds off with all my presents. That's living in Democrat cities.
Yep. Well, they're prioritizing the rights of extremely violent criminals over the rights of 99% of the population that just wants to live their lives.
It's weird.
They want the whole country to be destroyed. That's why they had the borders open.
Yeah.
Wide open.
I just don't understand it. I feel like it's, we hear these stories about private equity firms that will buy up a company, sell off all its assets for a profit, and just destroy it. And it's like, there's a play there, right? The company makes $1 million a year. Not a very big company, but if you buy the company for $5 million, sell off all the machinery and all its assets, you'll make you'll sell it for all the assets sell for $5.5 million. So you buy it for $5 million, you make $500,000 and destroy the business. That's what it seems like Democrats do politically. They say instead of long-term success and growth, gut the system, extract as much as you can from the taxpayer, burn it down and run.
Mm-hmm. The left did that in New York City during lockdowns. All these small businesses were destroyed. Everyone left, and they bought up all the buildings. And they took over the hotels and put illegals in them and gave them debit cards.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.